Welcome to the EmpowerElle podcast. I'm your host, Vero, and I'm so excited to have you join me on this journey of empowerment and growth. This podcast is designed for ambitious, high-achieving women who are ready to break free from overwhelm and step into their power. Together, we'll explore practical strategies, share inspiring stories, and hear from experts who can help you navigate the challenges of balancing ambition and well-being. Whether you're looking to cultivate confidence, transform your mindset, enhance your leadership skills, or find harmony in your life, this is the place for you. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome to the EmpowerElle podcast. I'm so glad that you're here to learn about something that could shift the way that you lead and live. Today's conversation is all about how to find inspiration and motivation from within. If you've ever felt like your drive has disappeared, or you're constantly waiting for the right moment or the right feeling to get going, then this episode is for you. So take a deep breath and let's dive in. Let's start with something that most of us don't talk about enough. And that is that motivation is not a constant. It's not something that you either have or don't have. It's really a feeling. And it's a feeling that ebbs and flows depending on your energy, on your environment, and on your alignment. The problem is that we've been conditioned to think that motivation comes from the outside. We think that we're going to find it in someone's Instagram post, or in a podcast, or a quote, or maybe even in that next promotion. We tell ourselves, once I feel inspired, then I'll start. And as much as I love that you follow me and listen to my podcast, the truth is that action is what creates motivation, and not the other way around. Think about a time when you didn't want to work out. You were tired and unmotivated, but you decided to step in the gym anyway. 5 or 10 minutes in, something probably shifted. You started to feel good and energized and proud that you showed up. And that is because motion creates emotion. And when you act in alignment with your values, even the small action of walking into the gym, that's when you start to generate your own motivation. So instead of chasing external inspiration, what if you learn to become your own source of it? What if you didn't have to wait for something or someone to ignite that fire inside of you? What if the spark was already there and it just needed a little bit of oxygen? Let's talk about why we lose that inner spark in the first place. Because if you're listening and thinking, I used to feel driven, but lately I just feel ugh, you are not alone. Here are the 3 biggest reasons I see ambitious women lose motivation. The first is that maybe you're pursuing goals that aren't truly yours. Maybe they look good on paper, or they're what others expect of you, but deep down, they don't light you up. When your goals are misaligned with your values, I'll say it over and over and over again, they drain your energy instead of fueling it. The second reason Maybe you're burnt out. It is impossible to feel inspired when you're exhausted. When your nervous system is constantly in fight or flight, your brain is not wired for creativity or excitement. It's just trying to survive. And the third reason is maybe you're disconnected from yourself. Maybe you've been so focused on achieving and giving to everyone and performing that you have forgotten what actually matters to you. Maybe you've lost that inner dialogue, that little voice that says, this is who I am and this is what I love to do. I know that when I was climbing the corporate ladder, I checked every external box of success. But I was tired, exhausted, anxious, and constantly looking for what would make me feel fulfilled. And what I didn't realize was that I was looking for motivation everywhere except where it truly lived, which is inside myself. And that's the moment that I started asking different questions. So instead of asking, what should I do next? I asked, what actually feels aligned for me right now? And that's when things started to shift. Well, hello there. Yes, this is an ad inside my own podcast. And listen, if I'm interrupting your day, it's because what I'm about to tell you is actually important. If you're listening to this show, I already know something about you. You're a high-achieving woman who does everything and somehow keeps it together. I mean, at least on the outside. But underneath, every single task feels like climbing a mountain. Your brain is juggling 47 tabs. You have forgotten what dreaming feels like because you're too busy putting out fires. And honestly, at this point, you probably deserve honorary firefighter status. And here's the thing. This isn't a personality flaw. It's overwhelm. And waiting for life to slow down so you can feel like yourself again. Yeah, that plan has a 0% success rate. Ask me how I know. So let me offer you a different reality. What if you could move through your week without rushing? What if you actually had energy left, like real usable energy for your dreams? What if your life felt like it had space again? What if you could breathe deeper, move slower, accomplish more, and actually trust yourself? Well, you can. And that's exactly what I help you do inside Overwhelmed to Organized, where you will learn how to master your time and your energy. So the doors will be open from January 20th to 31st, and the spots are limited because I really want to support you closely. So if your soul just whispered, yes, if you felt that tiny flicker of hope that says, maybe life doesn't have to feel like this, then send me a message to get on the wait list or to jump in as soon as the doors open. I would love to have you inside and watch you breathe again and dream again and truly transform. All right, back to the episode. You are going to love this one. So how do you actually find that inner inspiration again? How do you reconnect with that fire when it feels like it's about to die? I want to share 5 practices that I personally use and that I teach inside my coaching programs to help women reignite their inner drive in a way that is sustainable. So the first practice is to pause and get present. Before you can feel inspired, you have to stop running. Take a step back, breathe. Sometimes the reason you don't feel motivated is because you're moving too fast to even notice what would excite you. Inspiration will thrive in stillness. You can't hear your inner voice if you're always drowning in so much noise. That's why simple grounding rituals like journaling or morning walks without your phone or quiet coffee moments matter so much. The second practice is to reconnect with your values. Ask yourself, what do I actually care about right now? What would feel meaningful for me to create, to contribute, or to experience? Your values are your internal compass, and your motivation is going to be at its highest when your actions align with your values. If one of your top values is connection, but your days are filled with isolation and endless work, of course you feel uninspired. When you realign your life with what matters most to you, your energy just starts to return naturally. Third is to shift from expectation to curiosity. So instead of thinking, I should feel motivated, try to ask, I wonder what would make me feel energized today. Curiosity takes away the pressure. It allows you to play with your ideas and to see possibility, which are both essential for sustainable motivation. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to stay curious enough to keep exploring. Now, the fourth practice is to celebrate micro momentum. So big goals are inspiring in theory, but in reality, they can be quite overwhelming. Your brain loves to see progress, even those tiny wins. So start small. One email, one step, one phone call, one walk, and acknowledge each action. That is how you retrain your brain to see momentum instead of lack. And the fifth practice is to protect your energy. Inspiration can't survive in an environment of constant depletion. You have to protect the conditions that help you thrive. That means boundaries, rest, play, nourishment. Because your creativity and your motivation depend on your energy. And your energy depends on your well-being. So okay, let's be real. Even with all these tools, there will still be seasons when you feel off, where you don't feel inspired or motivated. And that's okay. Sometimes the most courageous thing that you can do is give yourself permission to not be productive. You're a human, and motivation isn't a moral quality. It doesn't mean that you're lazy or failing. It simply means that your system might need rest, redirection, or reflection. If your phone is on low battery, you're gonna plug it in to recharge, and you need to do the same with yourself. In those seasons, I like to ask myself 3 grounding questions. What might my lack of motivation be trying to tell me? What do I need to do more of right now? Is it rest? Or do I need clarity or support? And what's one gentle action that I can take today to move forward without forcing it? Those questions take you out of shame and into self-leadership. true motivation is not about pushing harder. It's about listening deeper to yourself. And often, once you give yourself that space, inspiration will sneak back in quietly. Not with fireworks, but with a little whisper that says, this feels right, this excites me, this is where I want to go next. So here's the final truth that I want to leave you with. You are your own best source of inspiration. External sources, the books, the podcasts, the people around you, they can spark ideas. Yeah, they can. But only you can sustain them. Every woman has a well of wisdom, of creativity, and of drive inside of her. The challenge is remembering how to access it, especially in a world that keeps telling you to look outwards for answers. So if you've been feeling uninspired, maybe it's not that you've lost your fire. Maybe you've just been disconnected from it. And maybe today is the reminder that you needed, that you can always come back home to yourself. Because motivation doesn't come from perfection or from waiting until you feel ready. It comes from alignment, from truth, from choosing to show up, even when it's messy, because it matters to you. That's where the magic lives, and that's where sustainable success begins. So if you love this episode, I want you to share it and tag me at EmpowerElle on Instagram. Let me know what lights you up and what small steps you take when you feel uninspired. So I am reminding you to keep choosing yourself, your vision, and your values. That is real power. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning into the EmpowerElle podcast. I hope today's episode inspired you and gave you practical insights to help you navigate your journey as an ambitious, high-achieving woman. Remember, every step you take towards building your confidence and embracing your full potential is a step closer to creating the life you truly desire. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on your favorite platform. Your support helps us reach more women who are ready to step into their power and live their best lives. Don't forget to join our community on social media for more resources, tips, and inspiration. Until next time, lead with power and live with wellness. You are unstoppable.